Good afternoon and welcome into Richmond Review. Today, live at the Richmond Tourism House on WBON TV. A lot of characters here in the building today. Marisa Hempel joining us, along with Ed McDaniel and Mike Brewer, City Commissioners, and City Manager Rob Meinrich. Guys, welcome in, and a lot going on here in the city of Richmond right now, Rob.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a fun time. It's a challenging time, but of course, with the COVID-19, we're finding out, that we have to adapt on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But I think we as a city and our county government and Bria as well have all worked together and done a good job of changing along the way. So. Yeah,
and this commission too. I mean, you look over the last couple of years and everything that's been going on, all the hard work you guys have put in, and then you throw this pandemic in. It's been a lot harder on you guys, Ed.
Oh yeah, we were moving so well up till February, and then everything just come to a screeching halt. And but credit to Rob Meinrich and the rest of the people at City Hall, because they adapted, and we just started moving forward again.
Mike, what's been the hardest part, other than not being able to to hang out with Ed all the time and have fun? What's been the hardest part of all this?
Wait a minute, it's not fun.
Well, I think the changes, because they're coming so quick, and numerous changes, and we have to adapt to them, especially with COVID and taking care of the city. And we are a progressive, moving forward group of people on the commission, the city manager and our mayor, and we just don't like sitting still, so we're going to do what we can to move this city forward.
And I think that's been something that everybody has witnessed over the last couple of years. And then last night, it was announced the guidelines for Halloween. Marisa, if you want to talk about those for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I'm a huge October fan. Don't know about you guys. And, a lot of other nearby governments, county, city, otherwise have just kind of canceled Halloween. But however, we are going to move forward, correct, with a few little adjustments. Rob, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's going to be October 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are advising everybody that they need to follow the state guidelines that were put out, which does include such things as instead of handing candy out, you set it on tables for the kids to come by and pick up. Obviously, the social distancing. If you don't want to participate in trick-or-treating, turn off your porch light. That's kind of a signal that you aren't participating in the festivities. But, this is just another example of how we've had to adapt. And to go back what Michael said earlier, we had all this momentum coming in February, had to take a 180 with our budget process, and I got to hand it to our staff in the city and our mayor and commissioners for their leadership, because we've had to adapt accordingly and done a pretty good job of it.
Well, one thing that I think too, if you see people on Facebook, and everybody's got an opinion on Facebook, you wanted ball games, you got ball games, but again, you have to follow the guidelines. You want Halloween? Well, we have Halloween, and we're trying to do it as safe as possible. So, complaining is easy to do on Facebook, but listen, this is no matter, every decision that is made during this pandemic is a difficult one. There's no easy decisions. So you do what you can. We are going to have Halloween. We're just going to do it in a safe way, as safe as we possibly can. Let's do it. Let's do our part, and let's try to get through this and still enjoy Halloween. To me, the kids, I've got a 3-year-old little girl. She's not going to know a difference. It's still Halloween to her. She's still going to get some candy, and hopefully I'll get some of it. That's all that matters.
I'm sure you'll steal most of it. Now, I did want to mention, you guys also worked with the county government and with Berea City to reach this discussion. How did you all collaborate for that?
Well, we have weekly meetings anyway, COVID-19 meetings between the three governments, which also involve the hospitals and all the other leaders in the county, which have been very productive and keep us on the same page. But the Halloween decision was one that was made between the two mayors and the county judge executive, and they included their council members, magistrates, and our commissioners. The county government and the Richmond City government didn't have to vote on it. As long as our guys agreed to do it, we could go ahead and do it. But Berea Council had to vote on it last night. So once they voted on it, we went ahead and put a press release out. But it was good joint decision between the three governments.
Can I just go over what some of those guidelines are, Marisa? Obviously, you have those in front of you?
Yeah, I do. So like Rob mentioned, turn your light off if you don't want to participate. And it says, door-to-door trick-or-treating is discouraged. Instead, residents who choose to participate can place individually wrapped candy on their porch or on a table in their front yard or driveway. And I should mention, we've already had some comments on WBON TV regarding that. People are like, oh, that's not much better. They're going to be put their grubby little hands or whatever in there. I mean, I feel like this is a good happy medium. You know, I feel like you all made a good joint decision. So, you know, what else can we do besides cancel Halloween? Like I said, some people have. And then everyone should also, as we already mentioned, follow state guidelines on social distancing, wearing an appropriate face covering, hand washing, and sanitizing, and to trick-or-treat in family groups only. And also, I don't know if we mentioned this, a Halloween mask doesn't count as a COVID mask.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
So.
Ed, I know Mike's excited because he wears his costume all year long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's been good for years.
Look, I dress up like an Indian.
I don't know what that means. I don't care to
I'll
elaborate.
tell you
The
later.
inside jokes just go over her head. You know, you just got to look over. But, you know, again, and you guys working hard on this, working with the other government or local officials to get this decision done. And, again, you guys can kind of point out to the fact that no decision is an easy one right now.
Well, I mean, if you look at this year, everybody's been disrupted, and especially the kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've sacrificed as well as everybody else this whole year. So it's good to give them some type of normalcy back, you know, they deserve it, and it'd be good for everybody just to do something that we do every year.
Well, I mean, for kids right now, that school is different. You know, birthday parties are a lot different. Going to church is different. I mean, everything is different right now. So to put on your Halloween costume and to go around and get some candy, even if it's, a limited amount of candy, that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, again, working with these other officials, how important is it to everybody's on the same page?
Well, it's the only way to attack this COVID scare that we've had. And this virus, as we know, has gone through every community, every form of I guess, human existence. And Ed said it best, that if we get the chance to have some normalcy back and the kids have a chance to put on their Halloween costumes, let's give them that opportunity. And all three of the governments agreed that we have to do something. And just to be fair, it's we take all the CDC guidelines and we go over them. Ed and I have talked about it a number of times with other commissioners and the mayor and the city manager. We want to make this as safe as possible. But I want you to understand, too, the community has to get on board and has to help make it safe. They got to follow the same CDC guidelines as we do in order for these things to be, to come off and the public be safe. So.
Well, Rob, one thing I know that the community members like is the Halloween hoedown. That's also, as of right now, still going to take place on the 22nd.
Yeah, it's normally one of our biggest events in the Parks and Recreation Group, and actually all city departments combine together to help support that event. We normally close down Main Street and have a hoedown. So this year it's going to be a little bit different. It'll be at Lake Reba. It'll be on the 22nd from 6 to 8, and it'll actually be a drive-through. So you'll be able to drive through and get candy for your kids. Parks and Recreation will have the candy actually in little baggies to make it safe.
Yeah.
And then vendors are going to be allowed to set up and greet people as well. So again, you have to adapt to what's going on.
And to me, this is not only a big deal for the kids who, again, get the candy, get to kind of experience having their costume on more than just one time. But, Ed, this is a big deal for vendors as well, local businesses that maybe aren't as out in the limelight as some places are, but this is a chance for them to kind of, put out some business cards or some information to the public.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, we go back to everybody's been hit by this, and everyone, even the city's just trying to rebound right now. So any opportunity that we can give for them, we need to be doing it. You'll see Mike and I under a canopy waving.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it goes back to, trying to help mitigate some of these businesses here in downtown. And and help them get back up on their feet the best we can while we're getting up on our feet. The city took a shortfall as well during this, so it's just it's a community effort. That's what it is.
Well, he just talked about it, Mike, about the city and everybody being affected by this. And I know the Chamber of Commerce has been giving out those signs that say we're still here. This is a good chance for those businesses to show folks that, hey, we are still here.
Well, we've always said support your local businesses, even before this COBA hit. And we still maintain that we will get through this together, as somebody always says.
Yeah.
We will get through it.
Who are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
But anyway, we will make this, and Richmond will survive.
Yeah.
And it is already. And we're just hopeful that our people here support our local businesses and realize that they need their help.
One thing, Michael, I was going to say is there's no fee this year for vendors
Yes.
at Hoedown. And also, I think the deadline for an application is the 9th. So
For vendors to sign
Yeah,
up, and then they can go to the Parks and Recs website, I'm
Yep,
assuming?
yep,
Okay, so go on that website. If you are a vendor out there, if you're a dentist or a restaurant or a boutique here locally, go on that website, sign up, and it's a chance, again, for you to kind of see the public, get your information out there. And Marissa, you got some more guidelines from that for us?
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to get your attention. I didn't know if we had time before the first break. I should mention, since we have covered Richmond extensively, there are some alternatives in Berea as well. So they are having the drive-through balloon glow in the city and the drive-through Halloween in the park beginning at 7 p.m. on Halloween. So this will be all shared on the Berea government pages as well.
Okay.
And you'll see it up on WBON. Just wanted to mention that as well if you're in southern Madison County.
Richmond sounds much better.
Bruce Fraley, if you're listening.
Vote like a true commissioner.
Well, let's take a short commercial break, folks, and when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other buildings that are going up and some local business developments that are going on, and, of course, we'll discuss the shutdown of the city workers as well. That's coming back here in a moment on Richmond Review on WBON TV.
Marisa, WBON TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON TV Studios. We'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in our city.
The show airs live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins.
Here at WBON TV, we are very happy to be bringing the local news, weather, sports, community events, and conversations to you very soon on Richmond's new TV station, VHF Channel 9. While we continue installing equipment and expanding our facilities to officially launch this new media service to you, let us know where you're watching. Email us at information@wbontv.com and tell us if you're watching over the air, on cable, and what you think of the programming. Exciting things coming soon to Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Richmond Review live on WBON TV. Michael Watkins here with you. Don't forget, coming up at 3 p.m., we'll have the newscast for you. We've got some middle school girls basketball games coming up for you tonight as well on WBON TV. So a lot going on. And here in the city, Rob, Ed, Mike, a lot of new businesses that are still in the works. The vocational school going up behind Toyota over there near 4 Mile Avenue or off of 4 Mile Avenue. We've got the Menards, La Rosas, a lot of different things coming into to the city.
Yeah, it's exciting. You talked about the momentum we had coming into February, and to be honest with you, we've had to kind of regroup as a city government and the services we can provide. But really, the business has continued to grow, and that's encouraging for a community our size. You talked about those three businesses, and we've got a travel center that's committed to the Duncannon 83 exit,
Yeah.
which is called Buc-ee's, and it's about a $30 million investment, 150 new jobs. And there's some other really good things coming down the pipe that we can't talk about, but I can't say enough about our industrial development group, David Stipes and his board. They just stay after it, and a lot of people are taking a hard look at Richmond right now. And one of the reasons is the workforce, and that kind of ties in with the Career and Technical Center.
Yeah.
Of course, they're building one here in Richmond, the Madison County School Systems, also one in Berea. But the big companies that we talk to that are giving us a look are very encouraged by our workforce. If you look at the resources we have between Eastern Kentucky University, the school system, Bluegrass Technical College, that's what they take a hard look at and gives us an advantage.
Well, and this is all good for the city because it creates jobs, it creates, income for not only the people that work there, but for the city as well.
Absolutely. That's, I think, since 2019, we've had 425 new business licenses applied for, which is just unbelievable. But that's just a testament to City Hall, Rob Meinrich, the commission, the mayor. You make it a hospitable environment for businesses to come in, set up shop, and you work with them in any way that you can to get them here and to provide these jobs for our community. And like you said, in turn, we see the tax revenue on the back end, which is what it's supposed to be like.
Well, Mike, I think people that are watching at home, they think, well, listen, if we want a new business up here, it's easy. Let's just call them up and say, hey, open up a Cheddar's or whatever it is. Like, open that up here. It's not as easy as it is just flipping, snapping your fingers, and there it is. Talk about how difficult it could be sometimes to go through this process and for the businesses to come in.
Well, through the city manager's office, and I'll say this because I've always said I would like to have it like that.
Yeah.
But through our office, we have to make sure that we have everything in place, license, and who's going to be doing this, where we're going from here. And, we sat down as a commission early and said, Richmond's going to be open for business. Yeah. And we are going to put people in place to make sure that happens. And we've done that through our city manager's office. We've done it through the mayor's office and our people, David Stipes, codes enforcement. But, there are avenues that you have to follow in order for you to open up a business. And we have to be very cautious on where we are with it and what it's going to create, where it's going, who it's going to impact, what neighborhood it's going to affect.
Yep.
So we look at all that before we say yay or nay.
And it's not just businesses. I mean, apartment buildings that go up, neighborhoods that go up. You all are involved in a lot of stuff right now, and you see all kinds of different homes being built. You got the Dove's Landing out there going towards Estill County, the place over there behind where I'm at. The off of 4 Mile, a new
park.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I want to say this. This didn't come from us. This came from the statistical information that was put out. Richmond is the 6th fastest growing city in Kentucky.
You stole my question. I've been waiting for the moment, but I didn't want to interrupt anyone. Continue.
And then we're in the top 10 cities in Kentucky to live in. And you just don't get that by sitting around and waiting for it to come to you. Yeah. You go after it. And and people have seen that.
Well, City Manager Meinrich told me when we were talking about Buc-ee's a few weeks ago, he's very confident we're going to crack the top 5 and beat out Covington.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he was saying that.
They're surrounded by cities, so we've got places to grow.
Yeah.
So we got some competition. I like that.
Yeah.
That whole thing goes back to having the right people in the right position. And that's exactly what we have here in Richmond right now. Yeah. Every single department head we have is the best in the state of Kentucky, and I'll argue that with anybody. We've got one of the best city managers that we could have. We have a great group of people up there right now, and they are working great together.
Well, I'll tell you something, this group right out of the gate, one thing we did, talking about new businesses and attracting them, we streamlined some processes where we consolidated some departments and made us much more user-friendly to do business. I'm not saying we're the best and we don't hit some bumps in the road still, but we continue to improve with that. So when somebody comes to City Hall and has an idea about a business or wants to open a business, We've taken a turn. Everybody is very customer service related, and you'll get your questions answered, and we'll help you any way we can to get a business open. So,
well, I think that's what's important about this commission is that all four of these guys and the mayor as well, they all came from different backgrounds. They have different personalities, but they mesh very well, and they all have the same goal. They want Richmond to be the best that Richmond can be, and that's an absolute must-have in that spot.
Absolutely. It's been a treat to work with this group. It's about teamwork, and it's that way at City Hall. As I say, there's 254 of us now, just full-time. It takes every one of us to get it done every day, and that's the truth. From recycling, public works, parks and recreation, City Hall, I mean, police, fire. The leadership in those departments is just phenomenal, and the trust we have in each other to work together is what's key. It comes down to trusting each other, being able to talk to each other and share information.
Well, Marisa, we were discussing, the wrinkles that COVID-19 had thrown into the growth of the city, and then very recently we had the COVID positive test from a public works worker.
Yeah, true. So I had instantly called City Manager Rob Meinrich when I heard about that, and also, side note, it seems that Lexington's having the same strain. Yeah. So we are by no means alone in this. But I do think it was behoove of us to shut down the entire department just because of one case, if you want to give more information on that.
Early last week, we were informed by the health department that we had a positive test of an employee. That employee worked for our public works department, road department. And we immediately took the guidelines and recommendations from the health department, which was to quarantine all 21 individuals in that department, and have done so since. And it's funny, when this first started, the fear factor of COVID-19 really bothered a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of intimidated me a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know how to plan for it, but we sat down and we came up with a plan. And again, it goes back to our HR group and the other people I lean on, safety and risk management. And it didn't surprise me when it happened. I think we were prepared enough for it, and we've seen it happen everywhere else. When it did happen, we kind of expected it. So those folks will be back to work the 13th, which is next Tuesday. We're covering services right now with our parks grounds people and recycling as far as picking up limbs and refrigerators and stuff like that. So we ask the citizens to be patient with us until we get them back in full force.
What jobs do the public works cover?
Well, the main thing is sidewalk repair, street repair, potholes, striping of parking lots and highways. They also do all the leaf pickup,
okay,
all the limb pickup, bulk items. They do a lot of that as well. So it's one of our bigger departments, and we rely on them heavily.
You mentioned everyone to be patient, which I'm sure everyone obviously understands the situation. However, I should mention while we're here that I had texted you about a leaf pickup or limb pickup in my neighborhood, and it was taken care of pretty quickly. So the fact that you're consolidating the Parks and Rec department with, to cover these 21 positions, it still is getting done. You just have to contact the city, correct?
Yeah, and we encourage people to download our phone app,
yep,
our smart app, because you can take a picture, send it directly to us. It goes in queue, and then we assign it. And, one thing we do have to do with this department being off until next week, we have had to delay our fall paving project,
yeah,
which was supposed to start tomorrow, actually. Allen Company was awarded the contract to do that work, and our road department supports them in doing that work, so we've delayed that to start until next Tuesday.
Well, you talked about taking the pictures and sending those in on the app. Marisa, that does not mean selfies, so don't be sending any of those in.
Well, too late. I've already been sending them to Ed and Mike. And it'll be the cracked sidewalk, but it'll be me going like that.
But again, Ed, that just goes, you see it, people having to shift and move around and move these parts around. Everybody's got the same goal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like that every day with this group. It's a pleasure working with them. It really is. And that was me that picked up that for you.
Was it really?
That's teamwork.
Yeah, that's just teamwork, You
I thought I heard someone huffing and puffing loud.
Well, working with her, she will complain about it every day till it's fixed. So, but Mike, you guys have been working very close with each other. And now you're having to do the Zoom meetings, and even the commission meetings are via Zoom, and the folks can go on there and watch those. Is that twice a month, right? Y'all do the meetings for the commission?
Actually, we do it 3 times.
3 times a month,
Yes.
okay.
And I'm very skilled at Zoom, right? I'm not very good.
Says the man who couldn't do a 2-minute sit down.
Yeah, that's why I'm here in person.
Yeah.
No, but that in itself has made a change in how, I can't wait to get back to the chamber.
Yeah.
So we can sit down and the public can come and see us and we can see them. It's just, it's part of city government for me to be in that chamber. I've always enjoyed sitting there. So, it's just part of it.
Well, Rob, right now, if a community member has a question or, has something they want to get out there, let it be known, what is the best way for them to do that?
I think the best way is to give us a call. You can always show up at City Hall and leave us contact information. The phone app is a great way.
Yeah.
I make myself very accessible, so I'm not shy on giving out my cell phone number. You can text me directly or call me directly, and I've got a long list that will never go away. So we approach it that way, and I work with some great girls there in the office. Lisa Cassidy, our circuit clerk, and Wanda Bailey. Her and I work hand in hand and solve problems on a daily basis. And I think that's the key to being successful through a pandemic is you get past the fear factor.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at ways to solve problems. And that's what we do on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. I talk to these guys daily and the mayor as well. I'm constantly bouncing stuff off of them. And I think anybody in my position needs that kind of support. Other city managers I talk to across the state the same way. They build relationships with people they can rely on and trust. And you got to talk to these people and get ideas and make them aware of what's going on. And these guys give me a lot of good ideas with stuff. I'll say, what do I need to do about this? This is driving me nuts.
Now, see, that's the nice way of saying he wished he didn't give us his cell phone number.
Well, I'm a little bit envious because he said he gets to talk to you guys every single day. And I'm not going to lie, there's not been a time where I've spoken to any of you 3 guys where I haven't had a laugh.
Yeah.
And to me, that just goes to show you're personable, you're easy to talk to. That's an important thing. When you have this position, city commissioner, city manager, whatever the case may be, if a person feels intimidated to talk to you, then they may not bring up something that they want to get done. They may just kind of, I don't want to bug him. You guys accept that. You all want that, and I think that's an important piece to have, or an important trait to have when you're in the position that you guys are.
I hear that a lot from people in the community. They say, well, I hate to bother you with this. And I tell people when I go out and visit with them and look at things, I say, you know what? If you see something that doesn't look right, or you have an idea, or need to criticize us about something, or give us accolades, call us and let us know, because we all can't see everything. We don't take it personal. Yeah. It's our community, and the more we know what to fix, we can get to it. So it's not personal, and don't hesitate to bother us with it.
And we don't take off on the weekends. Any given Saturday morning, you can drive by City Hall. You'll see his car parked there. Yeah. He's working.
Yeah. That's just part of the job.
Yeah. I mean, it's about going above and beyond to push this city in the right direction.
Well, and these guys, I'm texting with them at 9 o'clock at night on Saturday about something that's come up, or Sunday morning if there's an issue that I think they need to know about. That's what it's all about, is these guys being informed, so when they're out in the community and people ask them these questions, they have answers.
And Mike, again, that goes back to the trait that you all have, being easy to talk to. And, you guys have fun, but whenever it's time to get down to work, you do just that.
Well, I think you can see the success of this city, and I'm going to say it about myself and the rest of it. We put forth that effort, and that's working together and putting Richmond first. And I've always said that, and that's what we're going to do.
Marisa, we always have fun when we come up here. It's already time to go off the air, but
well, I was going to ask. I've had so much fun. When's the next time?
Yeah, 2 weeks away. So we'll be back up here at tourism. We'll come back up here in a couple of weeks, and we'll kind of discuss, again, what's going on as we get closer to the Halloween hoedown, Halloween itself. We'll have some more ideas as to what's coming up down the pipeline. So, guys, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Marisa and myself, we'll get back to the office. We'll get some more stuff done, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. for the newscast. You have been watching Richmond Review with Rob Meinrich, Mike Brewer, Ed McDaniel, Marisa Hempel, and myself, Michael Watkins. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for this show once again on WBON TV.